What is up guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Numan and today's analysis video is going to be about the Premier League game between Chelsea and Newcastle United. So today's video is sponsored by Jerseys FC. You can buy all the new football jerseys from their website and you can also use the code ANALYZE for an extra 20% discount. So Chelsea lined up in their normal 3-4-3 formation, which was mostly 3-5 with possession and 5-3-2 without possession. While Newcastle United, on the other hand, lined up in a 4-2-3-1 formation on paper, but their formation on the ground was mostly 4-4, with Almiron joining the front line and playing alongside Gay. Chelsea started the game really well. They had total control of possession, and Newcastle were finding it extremely difficult to stop Chelsea's progression. So this is how the two teams were lined up on the ground. Chelsea's 3-5 formation against Newcastle's 4-4. Whenever Chelsea tried to build their play from the back, Almiron joined the front line and he was playing alongside Gale. The front two were trying to press Kovacic and Jorginho, while Saint-Maximin and Willock were looking to press the Chelsea centre-backs. Shelvey and Hayden were staying behind the front four to provide them cover. Since Jorginho and Kovacic were tightly marked by the front two, so Giroud, Timo Werner and Mason Mount often started dropping deep to create a 3v2 position against the double pivot of Newcastle United. That gave Chelsea the chance to easily open the passing lanes and link the defense with the offense. Newcastle United's 4-4 formation without the ball. Here again, Newcastle's 4-4 formation without possession, with Gale and Willock keeping a tight marking on Jorginho and Kovacic. Again, Jorginho and Kovacic are tightly marked, and this is where the front three of Chelsea came into play. Chelsea's front three creating an overload against the double pivot of Newcastle United, as we saw in the animation earlier. Mason Mount and Timo Werner were able to drag Hayden and Shelvey wide to open the passing lane for Kovacic to pick Giroud. Giroud drops deep to create the overload and receive the ball from Kovacic. And as he drops deep, he pulls Clark out of his line to open the space in the defense. Kovacic to Giroud and Giroud's one-touch pass to Mason Mount to attack the open space. Mason Mount receives the ball from Giroud and he pulls the centre-back out of his line, and that opens a big gap in the central area for Timo Werner to attack. Mason Mount pulls the centre-back out of his position to open the space in the central area for Timo Werner's run. Timo Werner makes a run in the central area and is forcing the fullback to get narrow to cover the central space, and this has left Alonso in acres of space on the wide area as Giroud tries to pick Alonso. Giroud to Marcos Alonso, who plays the ball in the path of Timo Werner, and Werner should have scored the goal. Here again, tight marking on Kovacic and Jorginho, and the two wide players are trying to press Azpilicueta and Rudiger. Kovacic is trying to use the tight marking to drag Willock wide, and that opens the passing lane for Christensen to pick Werner, who drops behind the front line to receive the ball. Chelsea with possession mostly keep a 3-5 formation as the wingbacks are allowed to move up and join the front line. So one of the downsides of Newcastle's 4-4 formation was the distance in between their fullbacks and the wingers. Since the wingers were staying high up the ground to press the Chelsea centre-backs, so whenever Chelsea were able to play a long pass from the back to one of the wide areas, Chelsea immediately had a man advantage against the Newcastle fullback. This 2v1 situation was always there for Chelsea throughout the game. Again, tight man marking on Jorginho and Kovacic, Newcastle's wingers are also staying up to press the wide Chelsea centre-backs. Christensen is on the ball and Rudiger is letting him know about the wide overload. Christensen steps out with the ball and he immediately tries to isolate the Newcastle fullback in a 1v2 position. Christensen to Timo Werner, and Chelsea are easily able to isolate the fullback in a 2v1 position. Christensen could have gone either way, as Chelsea had overloads on both sides of the ground. The Newcastle wingers are nowhere to be seen, and this was the move that resulted in Chelsea's first goal of the game. And this was a constant theme throughout the game, as Chelsea were able to isolate the Newcastle fullbacks in a 2v1 position time and time again. Big gaps between the fullback and the winger, so whenever Chelsea were able to play long passes, they had an easy 2v1 position against the Newcastle fullback. Same thing on the other side as well. Saint-Maximin was not helping his fullback defensively, and thus Chelsea were able to isolate Jamal Lewis in a 2v1 position time and time again. Callum Hudson-Odoi now has so much space and time on the ball to easily pick his next option. Here again, the winger is nowhere to be seen and Lewis is again left in a 1v2 position. Here again, Jorginho to Mason Mount and Jamal Lewis is again left in a 1v2 position as he wasn't getting any defensive support from his winger. Newcastle United, on the other hand, could not create much offensively, and the only man who made things happen for Newcastle with his off-the-ball runs was Saint-Maximin. Saint-Maximin was often dropping deep and he was forcing Azpilicueta out of his position to open the space for the overlapping runs of Jamal Lewis. Here again, Saint-Maximin is forcing Azpilicueta out of his position to open the space in the defense for the run of Cheslea, but Jorginho was closely following the runs of Cheslea. Thomas Tuchel has now extended his undefeated run to 6 games. He has managed to win 13 points out of a possible 15. And with this victory against Newcastle, Chelsea are finally back in the top 4. Thank you so much guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.